All right, so let's jump into our first receiver is Jordan Addison out of University of South Carolina or South
Yep.
California.
California.
Yeah,
USC.
USC. So 6', 175. He needs to put on some weight. Right off the bat, I'm looking at this. He's 21 years old, and he's projected to go to the Packers. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Interesting. So
I don't hate that. I mean, I don't like it, but I don't hate that. Makes sense.
Again, Jordan Addison was a 4-star recruit. He had kind of the option from Maryland, Notre Dame, South Carolina, and Virginia, but he went to Pittsburgh. Okay.
Yep.
Now I know this is not a Pittsburgh uniform. Like, well, what the hell? I'm watching USC. Well, he went to Pittsburgh. After Kenny Pickett got drafted, he decided to go to USC, and this is where we're at now. After the fact of, this is his production here in USC. So, but he was in Pittsburgh for a little bit, and he was like, again, he's not like
okay.
separation.
So let's just understand. In Pittsburgh in 2021, he won the Biletnikoff Award as the nation's top receiver his sophomore year at Pittsburgh. So like he was already on everyone's. He was Marvin Harrison Jr. like last year. That's what he was already. And then he went to USC and had to play with a great quarterback with a great arm. And but exactly what you said. But his separation is interesting because you think of someone who runs a 4.39 40. He doesn't really separate crazily. He really and he's a small guy. But he makes great routes. He runs unbelievable routes.
He's going to be a good weapon somewhere. I do believe that. Like I said, he's a very good receiver. He's just a different type of receiver. He's going to be a weapon somewhere, and I think he's going to be utilized. I think he's in my opinion, he's going to be that perfect balance to a number one. He will be a excellent number two, a excellent number three. And this is why if I see him somehow go to the Lions, my God, I think he's gonna fit just fine there with.
I feel like he's
Amon-Ra.
He is Amon-Ra St. Brown. He is that guy. That's who he already is.
Amon-Ra's
he's the same size. He runs the same type of great route running. Got great heart. Great. But I think in a couple of years, this guy could be exactly that. What if I throw in a wild card for you and say Cincinnati?
Because Higgins is gone?
Because T. Higgins, I don't know if they can't afford. Eventually, he's going to have to be gone. He's going to have to be gone no matter what. Yeah. Because T. Higgins is a number one who could ask for $25 million and any team will give it to him. But if you turn around and get this guy, and you have Jamar Chase on the other side, and you have a quarterback with that type of arm, ooh.
I think he's going to be a really good slot or something like that.
Is the other receiver more like T?
Tyler Boyd?
No, Johnson.
Oh, Johnson. Oh, yeah.
He's more like
coming in this draft.
He's exactly like T. Higgins, but I'm saying.
So I would think you try to get him over.
Like you're
Quinn
talking
Johnson's
like JSN, because JSN's like basically like a juju, like a good slot as well. Like both these guys are probably going to be the ideal slots.
We're talking about today.
He's saying Quinn Johnson though, so he's thinking because he's like T. Higgins
that the Bengals will try to go after him.
I just don't think first of all, he wouldn't fall to them.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn Johnson is probably a top 10 pick. He's probably going to be going at 8 or 9.
So they would have to trade up to get him.
So they'll have to trade up to get him. But it's possible to get to 18, 19, actually 18 for Jordan Addison.
Yeah. So here's what I've noticed though. He's got 219 catches, receptions, right?
Yeah.
When he was with Pittsburgh, he had 60 in 2020 and then 100 in 2021 and then dramatically dropped. Like there has been reports where he does have a bit of a hand issue. So other than that, the fact that he's really good, like he kind of he drops them. I mean, if you look here, it's 59 in the last season, it was only 59. But he made up for it in the separation at 875 yards. So still produces touchdowns and still making good plays. And like I said,
here's another, those small guys, they can't block well.
That's going to be a big thing in the NFL.
Because I mean, you talk about Detroit. Detroit does really good with screen passes. They have two great running backs that can catch screens, especially when you have Swift. That's what you need to have a receiver that's going to be able to block. He's not good at blocking. This is just what he is. So
he's not top heavy.
Yeah, and you have Jameson Williams. So I mean, I just feel like with Jameson, why I don't think Detroit will want him.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying he's like, no, I'm not saying you're not wrong.
But he's as I said, a good number two. When you have a number one and this is your number two, that works.
I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with that. Now, as for Dynasty, I feel like he's gonna be a good wide receiver 3, 4, something like that. Like a good plug-in. Nobody I think that you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I could throw this guy in my lineup every week.
No, but someone that I can see him you drafting him. We're talking about draft wise. 3rd rounder, I could see.
I think it might be 2nd. I might be 2nd.
Maybe
depending on where it's at. Depending on
how deep your league is too.
His landing spot is going to definitely change where and how, and I still think he's going to end up in the 1st round just because of the receiver depth of this season.
Because he's number 2 no matter what. I like Jackson Smith and Chigba more. I like bigger size receivers. I feel like I would take a chance with someone bigger if I was drafting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's like you said, it's exactly kind of you said. He's not. You want someone bigger because physically, he can't do it now. Now, if he puts on 10, 20 pounds, it might change. But that's at the same time, he's got to get used to that new body. And how is he going to alter his speed? Like, is the separation going to be the same, or does he now become like a shorter Drake London? You know what I mean? That's something we will see in the next couple of seasons. Out of these rookies, like the receivers, to me, he's like my number 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm not saying he's not bad. I'm just saying he might be like my number 4. Detroit got Jamal Williams, and they're glad they got him because he's part of that Naruto clan. Yeah, of course. What was it? House of the. Help me out. Who is that? Somebody.
He said Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. I knew one of you knew it.
Yeah. Here's my question. The leader of the Hidden Leaf Village is where they live.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Would you rather have Rashid Rice or Jordan Addison? And the reason I asked, so Rashid Rice, though he's SMU, all that stuff, but he's 6 feet tall, same height. He's 200 pounds. Does that change if Jordan Addison was 200 pounds and he's the same speed? Does that change what you think in the NFL where he could be?
I will still take Jordan Addison because Jordan, look, he's 21 years old.
That's true.
I still think he's young enough to once he gets to his physical training coach, I think they can pack on some weight. I think Jordan Addison becomes something his 3rd year. Like fantasy relevant 3rd year. This guy, I think you might want a taxi. But again, it's all about the landing spot where it is. And I don't want to say, I'm not big on that either. Landing spot wise. But I need to see where he ends up at. Because there's some players came in and I thought, man, they're going to be a surefire thing. And it's like everybody and their mom loved Sky Moore. I'm like, I don't think he's going to be anything. And look what happened. He wasn't.
And he wasn't anything.
Sky Moore was nothing until last couple days ago.
Yep.
And so I think Jordan Addison falls in that category.
But he also reminds me, talking about, I said Marvin Harrison Jr., but Marvin Harrison is another guy who not big, good route runner, pretty good hands, doesn't take big hits. And if you were a great quarterback could make that guy special.
Mm-hmm.
So, I understand. It's just in the top 10, there's 7 guys under 6 feet or shorter. And that worries me. And like, I don't know if I won't want any of these guys to be my number one guy until I know for sure they're big enough to handle the NFL.
Yeah, that's how last year's receivers were.
Yeah,
they were all small, except for Traylon. So there's only a few of them that were like ideal size.
Yeah,
but we'll see. A lot of these guys surprise us. Devontae Smith was one of them.
Well, he was also won the Heisman. He wasn't just good.
Yeah, but this is also why he's called the Slim Reaper. So we'll see if Jordan Addison can make that transition. But yeah, other than that, I would take him over a lot of receivers in this coming draft. He has really good body control. And that's like he's not making like crazy moves where he's might fumble the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to catch it. Like traffic wise, it's gonna be difficult because he's not physical, but we'll see. That top, he's not top heavy. We'll see how it goes.
No, I agree. And seeing his combine, I want to see how good his hands really are. He'll be something I'll be interested to see. Because I know he's gonna make unbelievable routes. He has great feet. He's great quickness, great speed. But want to see how good his hands really are. And if his hands are great, then maybe I will sneak back in. I think I could see him being taken 16, 17, 18.
I was born when I watched me on the